What's up, Wolfpack? We're back in the home gym. Pretty sure this will be the last home gym video for a decent amount of time. Starting off with bench again. We got 135 on the bar. I didn't really think of a rep range for that one. So I also wasn't paying attention to how many I did. But I feel like I did probably 8. We'll do 155 now. Thank you guys for the support on the first video. I was up late last night, couldn't really go to bed. And I checked YouTube Studio and my shit was just skyrocketing. So, thank you for that. But you guys should watch the second video. I feel like I put a lot more effort into that second one. Alright, we got 155 on now. Sit here for a minute. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the content. And hopefully, there'll be more of you. I need to think of what to talk about. I didn't really think of this. Oh yeah, there was a guy in my comment section. I feel bad for singling you out, but I feel like it's much easier to do it right now. I have safety bars that I can attach. I just don't use them for bench because it's really easy to just, if you fail, you kind of just put it on your hips and then you can roll it off. It's not like the biggest struggle in the world. I use them for squats though. But yeah, I feel bad for singling them out, but I got them. Don't worry. We're gonna do a very similar thing as we did the other 2 times, all body. My back's still a little sore from yesterday, from 2 days ago, but I should be fine. All right, let's get 155 going. We're aiming for 6 to 8. Hopefully we get 6, hopefully we get 8. Actually, I'm lying. I would rather get 8 than 6, but I'm expecting 6. I think I did 8 there. That honestly felt really good. Do we have 5-pound plates? I think these are 5s. Yeah, these are 5s. All right, we'll add some 5s. So what would that be? 165? Not bad. All right, 165 on the bar now. Gonna give it a minute to recover. I need to think of talking points. If you guys want to hear my thoughts on something, let me know in the comments. But let me think what I could think of. Oh, actually, I got something. I'm not sure how many of you guys are political or not. But if you are at least somewhat political, or at least follow the content, or well, I shouldn't say content, but follow the news, you guys have probably seen the Minnesota situation where the ICE officer killed the mother. If you guys are wondering my thoughts on it, probably not, but I'm going to let you guys know I'm not the most political in the world. There's a lot of people who have probably a very, I don't know what the word is, but like, they're a bit more informed, a bit more intelligent on politics than I am. But I don't see any way how you could really defend the ICE officer in that scenario. He wasn't in danger from the clips I've seen. I've mostly just seen one video of him like 3 steps away from the car. It really is a sad time that we're in, where we're kind of fear-mongering our people. And we're also fear-mongering people that have kind of little power in the state itself. Like, a lot of people will use immigrants as kind of like a scapegoat. Like, one of my friends, he doesn't like going to France because he says the Muslims are ruining the country and they're assimilating. I really don't see how a minority can assimilate a country. But I'm not going to say they're wrong because I don't know enough about it. But I feel like you could at least use some kind of logic and admit to yourself when you're kind of just using prejudice more than, statistics. But I think right now what Trump's doing and all that, it's very, he's kind of just abusing his power. I mean, you don't have to agree with me politically, but I really don't see how you can defend him. And, if you're old enough to vote, please vote, especially if you think a situation like this is wrong. Like Trump has been saying, if the Democrats win the midterm, he's most likely going to get impeached. So if you really feel guilty you shouldn't feel guilty about it, but if you feel like someone is wrong and you want to make a change, please register to vote. Even if you think you're registered to vote, I saw a video by Atrioc. The people from the economy video know I'm a big Atrioc watcher. But I saw a video his video saying that some people, or they've been unregistering some people if they haven't voted in like a certain amount of time. So please check if you want to vote. I honestly don't even know if I can vote in this. If you guys don't know, I'm a independent. On the political compass, I'm like moderate, lean left. So I know I can't vote in the primary for my state because we got a closed primary, which, hot take of the day, we should open all primaries so everybody has the right to vote in primaries. And ideally, if we were to open these primaries, the Republicans would vote for the most right-leaning guy in the Democratic primary, and vice versa for the Democrats. They vote for the most Democratic in the Republican primary. But enough of me yapping. Let's get this 165. We're aiming for, I don't know, 4 to 6, hopefully 6. All right, I either did 6 or 8 there. I counted 6 like halfway through, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. I feel like it wasn't that much. So it was either 6 or 8. I'll count when I'm putting these clips together. But that's it for bench. I'll get ready for the next exercise, probably lat pull down. I think this angle's good. All right, we're hitting lat pull down. We got, 100 pounds, I think? Yeah, 100 pounds on the machine. Aiming for 10 to 12. And that was a kind of a struggle those last 2 reps. We'll throw a 10 on. Once again, guys, like I've said in pretty much every single video now, please critique my stuff, because I know I'm not the, I know I'm not doing everything perfect. I know, like I said last video, I could hire an editor, but I don't have the money. And I could hire a cameraman, but I also don't have the money. So please give some criticism, and preferably realistic criticism. Because like I said, if you're just asking me to edit better or have a better camera angle, or well, the camera angle I could probably do, but I don't know. If you're telling me to hire a cameraman, I'm letting you know right now I can't. But so far, the only critiques I've been given in these home gym videos is one guy telling me to edit more, one guy telling me I should get safety bars, which obviously I pointed out earlier, and then one guy who just said failure. Which I don't know if that's supposed to mean that I've failed or I should go to failure, but I'm gonna act like it means go to failure. All right, let's get the second set in. 125 on the machine. Or no, just 120 on the machine, I'm lying. We're aiming for probably 6 to 8, hopefully 8. All right. Should have recovered a little longer. That's all right. We still got 6 in. We'll throw another 10 on. Which was that? Should be 140 now. Oh wait. Actually, I think this is 150. Right, because we got a 45 and 3 10s on each side. So would that be, the 3 10s would total out to 60 and the 45s would total out to 90. So yeah, we're actually doing 150. I lied. Damn. Sorry, Wolfpack. I don't like to lie. At least not anymore. You know, if you knew me before I moved out here, you'd know I lied a lot. But I'm a changed man. What else should I talk about? Oh yeah, about the Diamond Gym. I was thinking about it a little more. And I'm worried that I'm gonna get ghosted. I mean, I'm still gonna do it. Just so you guys know, I'm not quitting. But if it doesn't come out in the month span of me getting 10,000 subscribers, just know I'm trying. And hopefully I start making a decent amount of money by then. So I can at least afford to, because I think it's in New Jersey. So hopefully I could travel to New Jersey. I've never been there. I've only been to 4 states outside of here. And then, you know, hopefully we grow, you know, past this. Maybe I can increase the home gym, get like a leg extension or the prime leg curl. Hit some Mike Israetel leg curls. If you know, you know. Oh, another real question. One thing I've done for a majority of my life as I've reflected on the things I've done. So, for example, like the drop shipping, this YouTube stuff, and when I was streaming for like a month. You guys ever, when you have something that you're doing that you're like proud of doing, you ever think of like you way down the line? Because like every time I think of what I'm doing, I get to the mindset of like, oh, there's gonna be a documentary about me. I feel like that's me being like narcissistic in a way, but I'm just wondering if that's more than just me. Similar to how I was talking about the competition idea yesterday, which if any of you people came from the first Home Gym Chronicles and are on the third one, which is the one I'm recording right now, go watch the second one. Like I said, I think that's the highest quality one I have out of the 2 that are out so far. We'll see about this one later. But as of right now, the second one's probably my favorite. I feel like I got deep and kind of philosophical with you guys, but not really, because it's more like mindset stuff. All right, let's get this third set in. 150 on the machine. Aiming for 4. Yeah, that wasn't bad. All right, that's the end of the lat pull down. I'll turn back on the camera for the next exercise. All right, as yesterday, next exercise, tricep press down. Same weight as the other 2 times. Pretty sure 90 pounds. Actually, let me count this. Okay, I lied, it's 110. But, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Same reps for each set, about 8 to 10. Let's get the first set in. Good enough recovered by now. All right, not bad. I need to think of more stuff to talk about. I feel like I'm leaving you guys dry right now. You're just seeing me work out. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of me recording this, but I feel like I need to give you guys some better content here. You guys aren't gonna just watch me lift with no commentary. I feel like that's really boring. Oh, I remember I was watching a Sam Solik video. It's been a minute since I actually watched one. And I didn't realize he just, or well, the one I watched was like Delt Destruction. So whatever his recent one is at the time of recording this. And he was like, he did his 10-minute car talk, got in the gym, and he didn't say a word. You just see him do his exercise. Then he instantly cuts to the next set with like a different camera angle, and then different camera angle. Is that what you guys like? Any Sam Solik watchers? Is that what you guys like? I feel like it gets boring. You know, I like watching Sam Solik. I think he has some great things to teach people, such as like just training hard, training intense. But I feel like that gets boring after a little bit. So give me your thoughts on that. See if you prefer my idea of no car talk. I mean, to be fair, I don't have a car. But if you like the idea of I'm talking in the gym rather than talking whenever I have downtime, I guess. Or well, no, downtime's not the right word. Let me think here. What's like a word for it? Like downtime is like the best thing I could think of. But like, I'm talking in my downtime right now, technically. I think you guys know what I mean. Like before and after the workout. Also, for those of you wondering, I'm old enough to get my license. I'm just a really bad driver. So I've low-key failed some tests. But we're aiming for it this summer. So there's a good chance this could be the last home gym video. Which, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like I really like this format of me just talking to the camera. Because like, it's very therapeutic in a way. Because I kind of just get to spew my thoughts. And then you guys are kind of just like a fly on the wall, just hearing me ramble. All right, let's get this next set in. Same weight, same reps. I think I did 10 there. I kind of lost count halfway through. I feel like my triceps are a very lacking part in my lifts. Like triceps, biceps, and probably I don't know, maybe my quads. Like I felt like before I started lifting, I was very top heavy. And with the training I've been doing at college, I feel like I've been very top heavy, if you know what I mean. Like bicep, tricep, chest, back, and little legs. Because I don't know if the science-based lifters are here and you guys are going to hate on me for this, but I really only do, or how I do it is I go here 5 days a week. And then I used to do 3 exercises per muscle per day. But I got really tired of it, so I switched to 2. I don't hit abs, and I put legs all together. So calves, hamstrings, quads. If there's another part of the leg, I guess the hip maybe. I kind of crunch them all together. So if any of the science-based lifters are gonna hate on me, go right ahead. Because at the end of the day, I should probably change something. You know, people will sometimes say that they don't want to change or they should change, but they don't really know where to start. So the best thing you could do is give constructive, realistic criticism. Because like, you could say something like, oh, you should probably do leg extensions in your gym or in the home gym. I don't have a thing to do leg extensions. So can't really do that. That wouldn't be realistic. But I will be doing them in the college gym. But like, this goes for everybody that you talk to. If they are questioning what they should do differently in life, you should give constructive, realistic criticism, which it's much easier said than done, because finding stuff that's realistic, especially in the moment's a little tough. But if you have time to ponder on it, I would suggest waiting until you can think of something that is realistic. And when I mean realistic, I mean kind of just put yourself in their shoes to an extent and just recognize what you think they could do in a given moment to change their life. All right, enough of me talking for now. Going last set here. Same weight, same reps. You know the deal. Whew. About to end there at 8, but I felt like I could do at least 2 more. So I think I did 10. I'll get the camera set up for the next exercise. Okay, we're doing bicep curls. Got the water now, because I was low-key getting a dry mouth. Start off with 30s. Oh yeah, like I said in yesterday's video, if you guys want merch, let me know. Cause I can make some merch, but like I said last video too, it's most likely gonna be drop shipped. So understand that, and also understand that drop shipped stuff isn't the highest quality in the world. If, let's say I make merch way further down the line, let's say this is after I'm like well established as a fitness influencer or whatever influencer, then I'll probably ask for or try and find a supplier who can make some higher quality stuff just for your guys' sake. But as of right now, I don't really have the funds, like a lot of things. All right, let's get this first set in, 30 pounds, 8 to 10 reps. Wasn't even counting. I'm thinking about it. My AirPod's gonna fall out. All right, Wolfpack, I'm gonna be honest. Did not count any of those reps. I don't know how many I did. So you guys are gonna have to watch, see if I'm tracking my weight properly and I'm doing the right amount of reps. But that wasn't the worst. I feel like I definitely could have gone a little further if we're going like failure sense. We'll do 40s now, because I'm in the mood for 40s. Really sorry guys if you don't like the commentary. I feel like I'm kind of lackluster today in terms of what I want to talk about. What should I talk about? Like I said earlier, let me know in the comments. Give me some info, some insight, see if you guys would want to hear about some things. Cause I mean, I feel like I'm delved into a decent amount of stuff. So I could probably at least give my 2 cents on something. But then again, I'm probably overestimating myself. There's like the one effect where it's like the new people, the not so experienced people have like a way higher sense of a perceived knowledge than they actually do. And over time your knowledge will outpace your confidence in your knowledge. If that makes sense. Because I forget the name of the effect. Because I know there's a name for it. It's like two different names, and then there's the curve that people think of where it's like that. I'll probably put a picture in if I'm feeling generous. But it's really more like this is like your confidence level, and then like this is your actual knowledge, kind of like that. If that makes sense. Because eventually your knowledge outpaces your confidence. I forget what I was talking about now thinking about it. I feel like I went on a really long tangent about that. Shoot, now I gotta remember. Oh yeah, stuff that you guys want me to talk about. You know, this could be me in the newbie section of where I think where my confidence of a topic is much higher than my actual knowledge of a topic. But if you guys want me to talk about something, I'll talk about it. You know, as long as it's not going to get me banned off of YouTube. Like, I don't really know what I could talk about that would get me banned off of YouTube. Probably some like really radical, like extremist idea, like some kind of like fascist idea. Which I probably won't talk about that, considering I don't really think you should be a fascist. Oh, another thing. Like I said in yesterday's video, you really should reflect on yourself. Like, although from people who are like experts in kind of the psychology field or the philosophical field, I'm nowhere near them. I've had a few people in my life ask me what I think the meaning of life is, and every time, or well, not every time, because this happened before. I really thought about it, but I truly think you should, think on your life, because I don't think there's one real meaning of life. I think there's a meaning to you, because at the end of the day, I think the meaning of life is more surrounded by your moral compass and what you think is best for the world. Like one thing that what I think my meaning of life is to kind of teach the youth, in some sense, of how I messed up in life. Although I am only 18, it's not like I've gone through life a whole lot compared to people who are like 60. But through my experience, I try to give my best input on what people should do. That's why I gave my thoughts on the economy. I gave the thoughts on my mental health. Because in all those scenarios, I've either struggled in some sense, or I'm still currently struggling, like the economy. My finances are dog shit. They still are. And they were even worse like a year ago. So I think if you want to find your life's purpose, you really gotta sit down, reflect on your life, reflect on the past 5 years, understand every positive moment, understand every negative moment. You'll probably remember more negative than positive, which is not a bad thing. I'm pretty sure people will remember more negative than positive things, but that's also me just going based off of my time reflecting. And really what you should do is just reflect on it, realize what gave you a real sense of happiness, and if it aligns with something you think people is a positive thing in this world, then that's probably your life's purpose. Like the thing that really kind of set it in stone for me when I thought of the idea that I should be teaching the younger generation is when I was at my grocery store job, and some of the managers would ask me to kind of shadow the new workers so I can give them tips on how to be better at whatever, like bagging or being cashier. And every time I did that, it was I had a very fun experience, I guess, because I mean, to be fair, I wasn't doing a whole lot of work to begin with, which was fun. I was kind of just sitting around getting paid. But I feel like you kind of realize how much knowledge you really do have in a topic, or in your field, when you're in a situation like that. And I think if you can find something like that, you should try and pursue it. All right, that was like a really long rant, so let's get this next set in. 40s, 6 to 8. Let's go. Alright, I think I did 8 there. Wasn't too difficult. I mean, I was using a decent amount of momentum there. So, maybe not the most optimal, but I think that was good enough for me. Do one more set, we'll do 50 this time. That big rant reminded me of an idea I had last night, which is when I usually do my reflecting. And it was the idea that if you look at like studies on happiness, a majority of them, actually, I can't say that's guaranteed, because once again, I heard this from an Atriarch video, so if it's wrong, tell me that I'm wrong, and I'll probably do more research. But the video, Atriarch said that many studies, when looking at happiness, it usually comes down to the connections you have in life and how strong of connections they are. Which I've thought about my life in a scenario where I'm wondering how many connections I have, and it makes me wonder if that's really a real thing, or because I don't have a whole lot of connections in my life. I have my family, obviously, and I have a few close friends. I've really tried to narrow my friend circle. Now that I'm in college, I've kind of upped my criteria of what a friend is. And as of right now, I think this is the happiest I've ever been. I just dropped the cap. Ugh. But I wonder if my mind's like lying to me, in a sense, where like I'm kind of playing a facade that I am happy, but I'm really not. Because if we're going based off of that study alone, I had a lot more connections in like the end of 9th grade, and that was probably one of the lowest times of my life, mentally, because I was really fat, because this was before I started working out. My peak weight of like 220, had really poor grades, and didn't have many friends, which, if you think about the connections wise, this is after the fact. I made a decent friend group after, like, halfway through 9th grade. So I shouldn't really use the friend group mindset, but I was recovering from no friends. And, technically that should be if we're going based off of just the connections alone, that should have been my happiest time of my life. Which maybe it was. There's a hair on my tongue. Yo. Oh, there's another one. My bad, Wolfpack. gonna look a little nasty on camera. All right, I think we're good now. But you know, when I talk about stuff like this, my whole idea is that you should really just reflect on your life. That's probably the biggest piece of advice I can give anybody, is to reflect on your life. And if you don't think you're in a good spot, you should probably change something. Bro, there's hella hair in my mouth now. That wherever I dropped the cap had crazy hair. I don't know what kind of hair, but hopefully it doesn't have any like diseases on it. It's fine though. Let's get this last set in. I'm yapping a whole lot in this. All right. Okay, yeah, we got the right weight on. 50 pounds, aiming for 4, maybe 6. Let's go. We use crazy momentum there. I don't know if any of those reps really counted, but it's fine. Oh, there's more hair. Sorry if you guys are disgusted by me grabbing the hair out of my mouth, but I think you would understand. At the end of the day, I'm trying to be as transparent as possible on here, because I feel like at least a lot of the YouTubers I've watched growing up, they've kind of played a fake character, like a more exaggerated version of themselves, where they're a bit more talkative, a bit more loud, a bit more rambunctious. If I said that word right, I don't know if I did. But I really don't think that's a good way to go at life. Even if, you know, it's better for content. I feel like it kind of, you know, a lot of the people I've also watched, I've heard a lot of them deal with like an imposter syndrome, and I feel like that kind of is a bit of a root cause. It's just that more personified self. Is personified the right word? I don't know. If you guys can't tell by now, although I do only know English, my vocabulary is not the best. Or at least, well, I know of words, but I don't know the definition of words. I'm gonna be like phased or not phased anymore. My bad. I'm gonna be like adapt. I'm just gonna pull out a word, and I'm gonna get like hella hyped. I love those clips. All right, lateral raise time, 20 pounds. Plans 8 reps, maybe 10. All right. Not bad. One suggestion out of me is, if you ever are trying to build a home gym like this, you really should get one of these power blocks or some other version of it instead of just a whole dumbbell rack. I'm pretty sure it'll save you a good chunk of change if you're trying to do that. I'm like worried to drink out of this water. I'm not trying to get hair in my mouth. All right, we're going for it. If I get more hair in my mouth, I'm changing the water. We're all good. That's how you do it. don't need to waste water. There's kids starving in Africa with no water. And in many countries without water. But this is the scenario they always use. So, if what you can do, please, don't waste your food, don't waste your water. I mean, me saying this right now, I'm kind of a hypocrite. I've wasted a good chunk of food in my life, which probably shouldn't be, but this is the most important part of learning when you're wrong is recognizing. So, if you're in a situation where you think you should be a little better in your life, you should know that it's probably you're in the best case scenario right now, knowing that you're in the wrong. Which, for all I know, I could be in the wrong. As of right now, I don't think so. Maybe it'll change when I'm, I don't know, looking back in life when I'm actually 60. Which I feel like I need to do a lot more in life. Like if I were to not do anything and die of natural causes, I would probably wouldn't be happy with how I'm doing. I feel like I got a lot more to offer, even if some people don't think so. At the end of the day, like I said yesterday, you really shouldn't let people stop you from doing the stuff you want to do. Like I've talked about in the past 2 videos, although I kind of preach this, I don't really practice it. Which, I mean, I am right now, technically, but I've struggled with practicing it because I've had fear kind of control how I live my life for a good chunk of time now. But you should really recognize my sister's going through some weird things right now. But you should really... I forgot what I was going to say. Damn. Now I feel like I'm in like an awkward state. Oh yeah. I've lived my life through a lot of fear, and although I might not be the best person to say this, I can let you know right now, you'll regret it if you live by fear. All right, let's get this next 7. Goal 6 to 8. Okay, I'm pretty sure I got 8 in there. I really need to get a new pair of headphones. I mean, I can't afford one right now, so I'm gonna have to make do with what I got, but the goal is to eventually get some Hello Kitty headphones. I think it'd be fun little look. Also, hopefully you guys don't think I'm depressed because of how, like, the topics I'm talking about. I mean, I could be for all I know, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. And I've also never been diagnosed. I've self-diagnosed myself with it before, but I truly haven't been diagnosed with it, so I can't say I've ever been depressed in my life. But I have gone through points where I've been in like a depressive state, if that makes sense. Where like you really feel like you don't have a whole lot to give. But at the end of the day, you should recognize that you have impacted many people, whether you know it or not. Because if you think about it, in a sense, every person you've interacted in your life, you have changed their day, which means that their week has been changed, which means their month's been changed, which means their year's been changed. And you go if you really get down to it, you recognize you've technically changed their year. Because if you were to never interact with them, they would be in a different scenario in life. So understand although you may not think you've done a whole lot in life, you impacted probably thousands by now. Because, you probably, I can't say for everybody, but I know I've definitely gone through, or I've talked to at least thousands of people. I was a cashier for 2 years. Or, well, I still technically am. I'm not fired from my job. I just haven't worked in a minute. Oh, yeah. Also, if you guys ever get successful enough, like, let's say hypothetically you're a millionaire watching my YouTube video, you really should give back to the people you know, the people you love, and also to the people who are struggling. I'm not saying give it to me, because I don't consider myself struggling, although financially I am. The situation I'm in, I don't think I'm in a struggling position, but like people with like cancer, people with like any kind of thing that makes life so much more difficult to pursue, you really should give back and understand that they were kind of dealt a bad hand in life, making it more difficult for them. And you, although you did achieve your success, which that's another thing I'll get into probably in my next set, is how I'm a big achiever. Well, I think you should kind of be egotistical on your achievements, but you really should give back. Also, I'm not sure if you guys really care, but I really think we should increase the tax rate. I know a lot of people would probably hate on me for that. Oh, I'm getting a call. Hold on one second, Wolfpack. Alright, finish that call. My bad, guys. What was I talking about? Shoot, I forget what I was talking about. It probably doesn't matter too much, thinking about it. Maybe if I edit the video and I see it, I'll maybe touch on it for the Monday video, which I should be in my college gym by then. But let's get this. I'm pretty sure this is the last set. 6 to 8, same weight. Let's go. Alright, that's it for the lateral raises. I'm probably going to get skull crushers set up, so I'll turn back on the camera when that's all done. Alright, Wolfpack, we got skull crushers now. It's a little too steep of an angle right there. Hold on. My bad, Wolfpack. We might move this a little closer. Let's see. Is that looking good? I think that's looking good. Whew. Might move it a little bit here so that I'm not hitting the pillar. Alright, we got skull crushers. I'm not sure if I already said that or not. 35 on the bar. I could be wrong about this. I don't know how much this bar weighs. I probably should figure it out. But I'm going to guess 15 pounds. Because I like the idea. Alright, 8 to 10. All right, not bad. All right, honestly, I'm going to throw in another 10 each side. We'll probably do the last 2 sets with that. Then we'll end it off with squats. As I was setting this thing up, I saw another angle of the ice shooting, and I'm pretty sure it was his body cam or whatever kind of recording thing he has. If it was, probably not a phone, but I'm pretty sure TMZ released a video about it, and after watching it, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think it really proves the guy's innocence of like through like the idea of like self-defense. I could understand like, or well, if you watch the video yourself, I'm not gonna put it up because it's a little or well, it's not. You don't really see anything crazy. You could probably still hear the gun, or I think you hear the gunshots. Not probably. I mean, but if you watch it, you can see the guy. He kind of like, you can hear him. He's like, "Whoa," just won't. It's kind of difficult to see out of the body cam, to be honest with you. Like, but although maybe he thought he was about to get ran over, you could definitely tell that. I'll be honest, I don't know the name of the victim, which I'm terribly sorry that I don't. I should. I want to say it's Renee Good, but I could be wrong on that. And I could also be saying that name wrong. So I'm sorry in advance if I get that wrong. But you could tell that she wasn't trying to run the ICE officer over. It was just, he was in a bad scenario. I'm pretty sure in the Atriarch video that I watched on his thoughts on it, he was going over like the ICE training stuff, and they're not supposed to be directly in front of the car when searching or whatever. So although maybe he thought he was in danger, he definitely wasn't. At least not in a lethal sense. And yeah, I still don't fully believe it was a justified killing. It sucks that J.D. Vance said that he was like given immunity for whatever charges he could get. Gabriel! Hold up. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to wrap this video up quick. I got plans to have dinner with my family later tonight, since this is like the last full day of me being here. But like I said earlier in the video, if you really think that what the ICE officer did was wrong, whether you align with me politically or not, if you think what he did was wrong, please make sure you're registered to vote, and if not, register, because it's very likely that Trump will get impeached, kind of make him restrict his powers more. Not sure how much he's willing to follow him, considering, his mindset, like obviously with the bombing, where he didn't tell Congress. But whether you agree with me politically or not, hopefully you recognize that what the officer did was wrong. And hopefully you recognize that Trump's kind of using a little too much of or abusing his power. I shouldn't say using, because it's if I'm pretty sure I have 0 followers on Twitter, but if you looked at my Twitter, I posted a little thing about this like a couple days ago. I'm pretty sure it's same day the first home gym video came out. But I really feel like this is a very similar issue with like MK Ultra, although very, very different in terms of like how it's happening. I feel like this is kind of just an abuse of government power, and no one's really getting no one besides American citizens are getting the kind of dealt with issues. Like obviously with MK Ultra it was more like kind of secretive. The government tried to keep it a secret. This one, it's a lot more public, and it's kind of more like a fear-mongering situation rather than MK Ultra, where pretty sure they try to like mind control citizens because they thought the Russians had that or whatever. I could be wrong on that, but I really do think you should, even if you're not political, you should at least look somewhat into it and understand where, take like a political test, see where you land on the political compass. So please use your First Amendment. Do what you can do to vote. Like obviously for me as an independent in a closed primary state, I can't really do much outside of voting in like I want to say it's the general election. I could be wrong on that though. But whatever you can do, whether you're Republican or Democrat, please vote for your values. And if you're in an open primary state, please go to the opposing party's primary and vote for the person that you think is most fit for the other opposing party. Because one issue with the country as of right now, and this is a issue that was it was told, or my mom initially told me about it, and looking into it, I think she's made a very, very strong point. And it's, as time has gone on I feel like the country is divided more and more politically. And I think there's real worries of a civil war coming. And I think one way we can kind of change this is if we use the powers we have to vote to kind of unify the country on its own. And what I mean by that is what I was talking about, where you vote for the most Republican guy in the Democratic Party. Well, you shouldn't do that. You should vote based off of who aligns with your value the most in both. But it's kind of the idea of you vote for a more Republican guy in the Democratic side and a more Democratic guy on the Republican side. If that makes sense. Hopefully it does. But we really do need to unify this country a little better, because we're not really united. All right, let's get this second set. I'm probably only going to do 2 sets for these last 2 exercises just to save some time for me. And the video will probably come out later tonight, considering I'm getting food like directly after this. So I don't know when this will come out. Hopefully it's still by the end of today. It should be. It's not like these videos take me forever to edit. All right, let's get this. 6 to 8. Okay, maybe I'll add about 6 to 8, maybe 4 to 6. All right, that's gonna be honest with you guys, it's the end of Skull Crushers. Like I said, only 2 sets. Oh, I got my finger a little bit. Not sure if you guys can see, but hurts a little bit, not too bad. I'll get the camera back up starting when I got squats all set up. Alright, Wolfpack. Got squats left. Shouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna actually take a sip of water before we do this. Alright, I'm gonna do the first set right now, just so I can save some time. It's one issue I got with squats. My neck kills me every time I do it. Whew. Not bad though. We'll end it off 155. Need to find out what time it is. Make sure I'm on pace. Yeah, we're looking good. Whew. But, oh yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about, because I brought this up a little earlier, but the my idea of you should be egotistical with what you do. And what I mean by that is you should really be proud of what you achieve in life. You know, especially if it aligns with your goals in life. Like, if you make $1,000 on a day of sales, in a sales call, or in a day, you should really be proud of that, and you should kind of boast about it. I think you really should be, although you should be humble in life and understand when people do things better than you, you should really kind of brag about your success in life, because although it may sound like narcissistic and kind of, or well, egotistical, the positive feedback loop that it gives you, I really think is more valuable than other people being like, oh, this guy, all he did was make $1,000 in a day. It's nothing that crazy. He's not Jeff Bezos or some other sales guy. You know, you should really be doing, not saying you should do everything in a kind of selfish manner and then boast about it, but you should really do things that align with your moral compass, your idea of what you want done in life, and how you think the world will be a better place with what you do. And kind of just brag about your successes. You guys could agree to disagree with me. I think it's a strong way to go. Some people, probably like Christians, will be like, oh, you're sinning, you got pride. But you really should just follow your heart. Like, I'm probably gonna brag about the home gym video kind of blowing up, and like in terms of overall YouTube, not really, but in terms of my YouTube, it's one of my better videos in terms of views. All right, let's get this last set in. I think we got 155 on the bar. Aiming for 4 to 6, and We'll call it good after that. I'll give my dues. All right, that's it for today, guys. Remember to love yourself. Remember, like I said earlier, follow your heart. Do what you want to do in life, and don't let other people hold you back. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be the only person at your funeral. Or well, you're the only person guaranteed at your funeral. I should say that a little better. I love you guys. And quote of the day is, if you run in circles, you'll eventually catch up with yourself. That's it. See ya.